As long as men continue to perceive women as objects that can be purchased and obtained, the more you're going to see women raising their monetary value based off of their own self-worth. And this is not a problem that is exclusive to the Muslim community. This is something that is affecting the entire global society. But because of a woman's right to her meher or dowry in Islam and the man's obligation to provide all financial support for his wife and family, this is definitely a huge issue that is spoken on a lot within the Muslim community, and it's definitely probably one of the largest contributors to the marriage crisis that we're experiencing as Muslims. And I see far too many of our brothers speaking of this as if it's an issue that is caused by women, that we are the ones who are valuing ourselves too high, making our meher too high, asking for too much, making it absolutely impossible for men to marry us. But something that I've seen said a lot inside and outside of the community is that women are both mirrors and multipliers, which means it is in our nature to both reflect what is given to us and expand on it, multiply it in whatever sense, whether it be positive or negative. The original person I heard give these examples, but what this person said was that if you give a woman a house, she will turn it into a home. If you give a woman food, meat, vegetables, grains, she will turn it into a meal. If you give a woman seed, she will turn it into a person. And women will reflect your actions upon her back to you tenfold. If you treat a woman like something to be treasured, she will treat you like a king. But the same concept works in the adverse direction as well. And what I feel like a lot of men do not understand is that women, especially in modern times, we understand our value. We understand what we bring to the table. And that's not talking about degrees or money or whatever. We understand what our abilities as wives, as mothers, as women in your lives can do for you. I was talking to a man once with the intention of possibly getting married, who had been divorced twice already. And he was pretty rough around the edges, but he had a bit of a charm to him that made me want to continue talking and pursue getting to know him to see if there was a possibility that we would be compatible for marriage. And we had gotten into a pretty heated discussion one night where he ended up getting into a rant about if he can't find a woman who's going to do what he says and be there for him and support him, blah, 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 he will just buy one. In the sense of, if he couldn't find a woman who was going to fully submit to him in a more natural sense, he was going to just get into another arranged marriage and purchase a woman. This is the way that he viewed marrying within his specific culture. And me, I was confused. I literally had to ask him to elaborate because I thought that he was talking about purchasing the time of a woman for physical needs, and he was like, no, I can literally just go back to his parents' home country and buy a wife. And of course, in this situation, somebody with this kind of mindset, there are a multitude of reasons outside of this specific one that I decided to not continue talking to him, but this was like the nail in the coffin. Because I knew, regardless of cultural differences, whatever, that the way that he viewed women was not as a partner, was not as somebody equal to him. It was something to be purchased. Having a wife was something that you can buy, like a car, like a house. It wasn't a person that you can have companionship with, that you can be partners with, that you can love and cherish. It was just a purchase. And this was not a one-off situation. There's another man that I know that I was speaking to who recently got married. He did his nikah. His wife is not here yet, but he did get his marriage done. And I was just talking to him about the process because obviously as a revert, like I don't have a lot of experience with Muslim weddings and how things go. So I was just asking about, you know, like how it went specifically in his culture, how they do things, etc., etc. And something that I ask when I'm talking to somebody that I'm comfortable asking this about when the topic of marriage comes up is like, what is the range of the meher? I don't ask the specific number because that's personal, but I do ask like, what is the range? And he didn't give me any numbers, but his specific words were, and this is somebody who is completely fluent in English, were, yeah, I paid so much for her. Like, I'm pretty much broke now. Like, she costed a lot of money. And this is somebody who is from a different culture than the first guy. But it just really blew my mind, because he genuinely, the wording that he used, the way that he viewed it, as if he was purchasing his wife, that he bought her. It wasn't money that he gave her. It wasn't a gift. It wasn't something for her to have. It was the price that he paid to obtain her. And to give another example outside of the Muslim community, as many of you know, like, me and my ex-husband, we co-parent. He's currently living in my apartment to share finances, to make sure that our son has the best and most stable environment, as both of us are kind of struggling financially right now. And we've had the discussion of what happens when I get married or he starts dating somebody. And I asked him, like, you know, I'm actively looking to get married again, which he encourages. He wants me to not be his problem anymore. But when we talk about it, I asked, like, you know, like, why aren't you dating? Because I know he's home every night. Like, he doesn't really go out very much. And I'm just like, you know, you could be out dating right now. Like, you could find somebody for yourself. And he's just literally like, I can't afford to date. Like, I can't afford to have a girlfriend. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it doesn't cost anything. And he's like, no, like, women are expensive. Like, you have to buy everything from, like, and it's just like, it really has me thinking a lot about why we have gotten to this point. And I see a lot of women on here making jokes, you know, rage baiting on saying, oh, my hair is 50,000, 100,000, $500,000, pink G-Wagon, all of this gold, brand new wardrobe, all of this. And it's literally like, men get so angry about it, and they should, but it's not for the reason that men get angry about it. Because the issue is not that women are asking for too much. The issue is women are reflecting the way that we are viewed in this society, whether they're Muslim or not. Women are reflecting the fact that men see them as something that can be purchased. And if we're going to be purchased, it better be for a good price. That's the way that women are thinking. If you're going to see me as an object, as something you can buy, then I'm going to make sure that my price is equal to my worth. Of course, we would all love to live in a world where everybody got married for love or companionship, and the meher was, you know, $100 or $1,000, like, and it wasn't this huge financial investment. But as women, we would love to live in a world where we are not valued as objects, where we are valued as people, as companions, as what we can do to elevate the lives of men, because that's what women do. We elevate the lives of men. But the issue is that we have far too many men in this world, whether they're Muslim or not, who speak about women as if they're like project cars, right? Oh, it's so expensive. I invest so much money into it. Oh, it gives me so much stress. I'm always fixing it. I'm always doing this. But if you treat us like we're not an object, if you treat us like we're a person with feelings and emotions, as we are, if you treat us as if we are something to be valued, not something to be had, something to be bought, but something to be loved, something to be cared for, as actual people, as companions in life, as another human being, we would not be out here causing you financial, mental, emotional, physical stress, because we are only reflecting what you're giving to us. You are giving us physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, financial stress. If you don't want to be in a situation where a woman is causing you pain, stop causing women pain. Even in my current situation with the temporary marriage that I'm in, I was having a discussion with my husband, and he brought up the fact that, like, married men are at a higher risk of, like, having heart attacks at a young age and dying, and that it's because they're married. And I was like, but do you understand why? Do you think that these men who are having heart attacks at young ages and dying, and you're blaming it on their wives, how are they treating their wives? Because a woman is not going to cause a problem for no reason. Women don't cause problems and cause stress for nothing. It's not fun for us. Men say all the time, we don't like drama. We don't like drama. Women are so much drama. We're not. It's when you cause drama and issues to us that we cause these things back. We reflect and multiply what you give to us. So if you want a woman who treats you right and treats you kindly and loves you and doesn't look at you for your money, treat her right, treat her kindly, and don't treat her like something that can just be purchased at a store.